Peace, everyone, and welcome. Oh, peace. Everyone's kind of jumping around. All right. I wanted to jump on here real quick. I'm going on pretty much my daily walk. Sometimes I get kind of stuck behind the computer and the desk in the house for a large part of the day. So today, the weather wasn't always the best. We've had some rainstorms as it happens often down here in South Florida. So I'm just kind of trying to get outside while I still can enjoy a little bit of the daylight. And I wanted to get on here and share with you guys, the clients that I work with. For whatever reason, I always seem to notice that there's a theme and there's a common kind of conversation that I'm having, even though it's between complete strangers and people that don't even know of each other and what they're going through. They come from completely different walks of life, but they always, through the mix of them, there's always like this common theme. And so as I go on these walks, I do share a lot during these walks, but really the duration of these walks I spend with either the phone in my hand or in my pocket or just completely off, just because it's really an opportunity for me to spend some time with myself, to kind of get my thoughts together and just explore, kind of meditate on a lot of what's going on in life. And so I was thinking a lot about the common theme that I was picking up between the different clients that I'm working with, and they've all been sharing this idea that they want their life to be full of like play and enjoyment, and then kind of having work as part of that process. Basically trying to work in some way that they can incorporate enjoyment into the work that they do, and then pretty much have a mass amount of time to enjoy doing whatever it is that they really want to do. And so, I have been in their shoes. I've wanted that same stuff. I've been on the student side, and now, moving to the coaching side, I feel like it provides me an opportunity to really excel, because I've been able to share both sides of that coin and understand a lot of where people are coming from, why they want that stuff, just wanting to really, break out into something new. And so, I found a dime. Give that to my daughter. We always play a game of who can find the most change in the day. And little does she know, she's putting together a nice little piggy bank that will be hers, and she can invest and do what she wants with it in time. So gotta pick up that dime, gotta pick it up for her. So as I was going on this walk, and like I said, I've gone on this walk almost every single day, but I've always noticed that this neighborhood in this area has like this crazy influx of squirrels in the neighborhood. Sorry, there's a car creeping. Poor guy can't find the address, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, so there's like this crazy influx of squirrels. I'm gonna see if I can find some as I'm going around. At this point, I kind of know the trees that they hang out at. They kind of have like this, like, I don't even know, like maybe like this biker gang thing going on, where some hang out here and some hang out over there, and they don't cross a certain path. So I don't know. I'm never really studied squirrels beyond what I've done today. So if there's any experts out there and you guys want to elaborate further, I guess the scientific and proven and that whole background might be appreciated by some. But what I noticed today, I've always did sorry, just got a message. What I was noticing was the squirrels. Now, I've been on this walk, like I said, almost every single day for like the last 3 years. It is safe to say that this has become part of my rituals on a day that I'm able to do it, right? If I have the opportunity, I'm almost guaranteed to take it, right? So as I've been going on these walks, I've always noticed those squirrels. Like I said, I know where they're at. I see how like they run around. They always cut in front of my car, and I gotta slam on the brakes. My fiance gets mad at me because I slam on the brakes, but I don't want to kill a little squirrel, so it's worth it. It's worth it. So but I've always noticed these little squirrels constantly playing, right? But when I noticed it today, I realized that they are constantly playing, right? It's like this endless game of tag that they have going on, and it's like to be like the ultimate supreme tag player or something, because they are full commit. They are running up and down these trees, again, running in front of cars where they're risking their lives just to get away, right? So they are constantly playing. They are committed to that. But then what I've noticed just a couple minutes that I was watching them is that they are very quick to break away from their game and their playing to collect some type of resource, whether it's a food source or whether it's something that they kind of just stow away for their nest and hold on to for a later time. They kind of scoop it up, pick it up real quick, and maybe inspect it to see if it's what they thought it was, and then they go right back to playing. Like time out, time back in, they go back to playing. And it made me think a lot about how people are always expressing that they want to live their life, like I was sharing with you. They want to live this life where they're always playing and then kind of incorporating work and being able to kind of do both at the same time, have a lower amount of stress in their life. And I mean, who can argue with that? I mean, if you guys agree with it, add something in the comments below, so I know I'm not alone. It's just because the opposite of that is pretty much what a lot of us do, right? We work, and then we have maybe like a weekend off where we get away, or maybe we splurge and we get like a week to 10 days off, and then we go back to work for 6 months, right? And that's all we do. We just repeat that cycle over and over and over again. And that's a great way to live if that's the lifestyle that you want to live. But if you want to live where the majority of it is playing and enjoying life and incorporating that into work, it just doesn't follow suit. And I am here to say that. A lot of times, the conversations that I have, and sometimes with my clients at first, they don't want to believe it. And a lot of that comes into our ego. Our ego tells us that we can't be wrong, or that we're going to get shamed for it. And, with my clients, I'm never there to shame. I've been in their shoes, and, as I call them, the kettle black, like you can't do that, So I've been there. Again, one of the advantages that I feel as being a coach, and having the experience, that firsthand experience. And I was even a little apprehensive at first at accepting that the way I had been doing it for so long was actually wrong or incorrect, and again, that's not right. You shouldn't say wrong or incorrect, but there's a better way to do it, and that's the truth. There is a better way to do it. We just have to allow ourselves the opportunity to educate and to see that other side of the coin. So back to the squirrels. Of course, now that I'm on live with you guys, they were running around like crazy, and now I can't find a single one. But I just did a quick U-turn because I know where the activity usually is, and it's not that way. So we're going back this way. So the squirrels, they're constantly playing and doing all that stuff, and it made me start to think, like, okay, well, how can we incorporate that stuff into our lives? They are, I mean, it is the telltale of what people have defined to me as what they want life to be, and I was witnessing it. It was almost like they were narrating what these squirrels were doing as what they wanted their life to be like. And I'm sure that's kind of a weird association, but when the universe is giving you signs, and you have the awareness and the aptitude to see it, sometimes that's just how it works out, and you got to be open to it sometimes. So that's the way I saw it, and I was able to pick up some very key things that I'm going to share with you now. The first thing that I noticed, and the thing that I try to talk to a lot with my clients, is that you have to give yourself some time, right? We're always trying to rush, and that's what gets us into the position where we're working for 6 months and then vacationing for a weekend. Again, raise your hand or add something in the comments if you have ever felt kind of I'll say apprehensive. Again, that's going to be the word of the video. Feeling apprehensive about taking a vacation day. I've talked to people where they're like, I don't want to take vacation because then that means when I come back, I just have to make up all the work that I missed. So now I have to kind of into like double time, stay late, do all this stuff, because it's not really a day off. It's just kind of like postponing and shifting my work and my clutter, right? So add a comment down below if you ever had that below or before, and let's get into comments. Let's talk. You're not the only one. When we get into that lifestyle, again, trying to take that easy road, that quick road, because it pays the most amount of money, or it was just an opportunity that we had and we felt that type of opportunity wouldn't present itself again, so we had to jump on it. Again, all makes sense. It all makes sense why you would want to do those things. But again, we can start to look at the other side of the coin. We can start to see things a little bit differently if we allow ourselves the time, right? So by giving yourself the time to adapt. See, these squirrels were born with the DNA that tells them, look, you need to acquire your own food source, you need to find a safe place to live, because without that stuff, you're not going to live very long, right? So that's in their DNA. That's how they function. And so a lot of us want to function that way, but we've had a different upbringing. We've had where maybe our parents or our friends or just the amount of information that we were taking in made us feel that that lifestyle wasn't really possible, that you had to work really hard, and you know, there was no play involved once you passed 21, 25 years old, and that was just your lifestyle and there's no way around it. So allowing yourself to understand that if that's the information you took in, it's not wrong that you started to adapt and to live that way. It's what you were taking in. So the same with that same token, you have to understand that if you want to change, if you've had that thought process for 10 years, 5 years, even a year long, or even shorter, it really starts to get into our beliefs, you know, what we believe is possible and what we believe is not possible and not for us and just for a select few. Then we really start to hinder a lot of the opportunities in life. And so by giving yourself the time to understand, look, this is going to be an ebb and flow thing. This is going to be something that I have really good days, and then there's going to be some days that I don't have the best days. And with those days, they can be just as beneficial as the feeling that you get from the good days, because when you have a bad day, that gives you the opportunity to evaluate kind of what went wrong, and then you can identify the problem, or you can identify the issue and kind of mitigate it, and so that it doesn't happen again, or it happens less and less frequently. Okay, so allowing yourself the time is absolutely important. The second, I want to go by the water, there's some out there, I think. So the second thing that I learned from them is that they're consistent. You know, it sounds silly, but it's their lifestyle. It's what they do every single day, and it's what they've been doing. So playing, collecting resources, it's just the way that they live their life. And through consistency and commitment to that consistency, they're able to maintain their entire life. So when we want to introduce that kind of lifestyle into our life, we have to make sure that we allow ourselves the time and understand that as we commit to the consistency, it's going to get easier and easier, and before you know it, over time, it is going to be a lifestyle that you are actually living and not just talking about, not just observing squirrels and saying, man, that's the type of lifestyle that I would want to live. So the environment, the nature, it can provide us with so much information. I don't know how bad that wind is. Sorry if it's pretty bad. It can provide us with so much information that helps us understand where we're at and where we're trying to go. And watching squirrels, I mean, it gave me a very important lesson. Obviously, I'm sitting here sharing it with you. You know, I love being able to play with like my daughter and giving her, I guess we're not going by the water. There it is. So, I love playing with my daughter. Like, I'm a grown up, right? I love my role as dad, as significant other, as, you know, businessman, as a firefighter. I love my role, right? But I love being there for my daughter too. I love being able to play with her. I love being able to, you know, to even show her that just because you grow old doesn't mean that you can't still enjoy life, that you gotta have to become a slave to the way that society has, oh, I found one. Sorry, a little excited. Let me see if I can get close to him. You see, right now he's just gathering resources, looking around, hanging out, getting stuff for later. I can't even see. Yeah, there he is. You see him? There he is, just gathering resources, doing what he does. And then I'm sure he's going to get back to his endless game of tag and, you know, enjoying life. So, you know, like I was saying, you know, I want my daughter to know that just because you grow old doesn't mean that you can't still enjoy life. You know, so if you have kids and that's something that you want to teach them, then follow the lesson of the squirrel, you know, see how much fun you can have in life, how you can incorporate work into that fun and still maintain homeostasis in the work and work-life balance and all that stuff, okay? And a lot of times, you know, I always people, maybe not so much on here, but it's always important to get out in nature, man. There's so much that we can learn from it. I've been, I think I shared it on here. I've been taking this walk almost every single day for the last 3 years, and just now am I really paying attention to what they're doing. So, you know, sometimes there's something like right in front of us, something that we do consistently. All right, we're back again. So, internet in this video, I promise you guys these squirrels are playing with me, because as soon as the internet started going out, there was like 4 of them. There's one over there right now. I see another one over here. They're just being a little camera shy, I guess, but they're out here playing in full effect. I promise you, take my word for it. So, like always, guys, if you guys want to follow me on social media, it's Twitter and Instagram are both at JRS Inspires. Facebook.com is at Facebook.com/JRS Inspires. My website is jrsinspires.com. You can download my ebook for free there. Also available in audio version, and also you can catch a lot of these recordings also on blogtalkradio.com. I believe it's / probably guessed it by now, JRS Inspires. So until next time, guys, thank you all so much for checking this video out. Remember to, you know, if it's important